Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Morning students, how have you been? Who's absent today? Okay, before we start our learning today, let's pray together by saying Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, so today we are going to learn about analytical exposition text. And the aim, you are able to understand the social function, generic structure, and language features of analytical exposition text, and also you are able to arrange an analytical exposition text orderly. Before we learn about analytical exposition text, I would like to ask you something. In your opinion, how important to learn and master English and why? Okay, that's really a great reason. But did you know that Holy Quran is suggested or supported us to learn English? Okay, I'll show you. Let's take a look at Quran Surah Al-Hujurat verse 13.
يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير.
Which means, "O humankind, we created you all from a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, so that you may know one another. Verily, the noblest of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Surely, Allah is all-knowing, all-aware." Then, what is the connection between Quran Surah Al-Hujurat verse 13 with the importance of learning English? As we know that English is a lingua franca, which means a language that is used widely all over the world. So, most people in the world use and able to speak English. Okay, let's take a look at Quran Surah Al-Hujurat verse 13 again. In Quran Surah Al-Hujurat verse 13, it is stated that we made you into nations and tribes, so that you may know one another. Then, how do we possibly know each other if we can't communicate each other? And as we know that language is an instrument for communication, so that we can conclude that learning and mastering English is quite important for life. Okay, next we are going to play a game. The rule is, I'll show you a picture or a title of several kinds of text, and you have to answer what kind of text is it. Write your answer on your notebook, so prepare your notebook, pen, and of course, prepare yourself because we are about to begin. Here we go! Okay, the game is over now, and we are really going to learn about analytical exposition text by now. I will give you several texts, and all of you have to read and comprehend the general understanding of the text. You have 5 minutes to read and comprehend them. Start by now. Have you finished the reading? So now identify the genre of each text, which one is narrative and which one is descriptive and which one is analytical exposition text, and so on. Okay, so for the first text, what kind of text is it? And for the second text, what is the genre of the text? And for the next text is, okay, great. So for the last text is analytical exposition text. Okay, great. Okay then, can anybody explain a little about narrative text or descriptive, such as the definition, social function, generic structure, language feature, and so on? Okay, thank you. Well, you have done a really great job. Okay, now it's my turn to explain about analytical exposition text. I have made a video that contains about the explanation of analytical exposition text, the definition, the social function, and also the generic structure. Watch and listen the video carefully and don't forget to take a note for the important statements. Hello students, how's life? Today we are going to learn about analytical exposition text. And the question is, what is analytical exposition text? Analytical exposition text is a text that presents one point of view of a factual issue used to persuade or convince other people. It is intended to explain the readers that something should or should not happen or be done. If you have tried to persuade anyone on a certain issue or argued relentlessly about something with someone, then you have used an exposition text. Analytical exposition text can be found in advertisements, spoken arguments, editorial, legal defenses, magazines, and so on. The social function of analytical exposition text is to convince the reader to look at an issue with the author's perspective. The text can be used when we ask others to do or not to do things politely and in a persuasive way. When you want to convince the reader, you have to make your argument and point of view become stronger by selected factual facts and relevant information in them. There are three common parts as the generic structure of analytical exposition text: introduction, body, and reiteration or conclusion. Introduction is the starting point of an exposition text, which consists of main topic and establish the point of view or thesis statement. And introduction should give a preview of the points you want to make to support the thesis. Body consists of a series of arguments to convince the reader. Body explains reasons for concern that will lead to recommendations supported by factual data like graphs, picture, and so on. One paragraph consists of one argument only. Conclusion is restarting the writer's point of view or a part to strengthen the thesis statement. Conclusion can be a summary of what has been stated. How's the video? Is it clear enough for you? Is there any question? Okay, if there is no question, I will give you several questions and all of you have to answer all the questions. When you write down your answer on your notebook, you have to write down the time when you start answer the questions and also the time when you finish the job. Got it? Okay, here are the questions. you done answering the questions? Okay, that's great. Well, all of you have done an excellent job so far, and I have made a summary for you of today's learning, and let's take a look for a second. Okay, I think that's enough for today's meeting. But before we end our meeting today, I would like to give you a homework. The homework is each of you have to find an analytical exposition text. It can be from Google, books, magazine, and anything else. Okay, that's it. Okay, so in the next meeting, you must have an analytical exposition text. Got it? Okay, that's all for today. If you still have a question, please let me know. Well, all of you have done a really good job today. So I wanna say thank you very much for today and see you in the next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.